Good morning, everyone. Um, so today's Thursday, and as per usual, it means it's weigh day. Not only it's weigh day, but it's the body confrontation. Um, we all get to see me pseudo naked, and then I sit down and I have a chat with you. I know today I'm not feeling terribly great, so please forgive me if my tone of voice sounds a little bit down, and what I may or may not rant about mightn't be terribly positive. It's just one of those days, guys. You know, everyone has them. Mine are unfortunately triggered by body stuff, silly as that is, and annoying reflection on things. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go do that, and then the other thing, and then I'll come back and do the other thing. See you in a sec. Yeah, so that's gone up. And I know that's, just your typical weight flux thing, it's no big deal. But at the same time, I notice I feel different in my body. I feel less confident or less comfortable. And it's funny because, it's following doing a couple of nights of skating. One night I've actually quite a long session of skating, and I could feel myself staying there for a certain period of time, not because I was enjoying it or because I was bored, but at the same time I wasn't not enjoying it, if that makes any sense. I just knew there was another thing kind of chiming in when I was thinking about my motivations to be there. And, it was good, but at the same time I could feel it becoming a compulsion, and then so for the last week I haven't been for a skate at all, and that's just not even been by choice or conscious decision not to, but more a just busy, you just didn't do it, just didn't really think much about it, which is good in itself, but at the same time today last night I started to feel uncomfortable, and I think maybe because I caught a glimpse of my body and I didn't like what I saw, it wasn't what I thought I felt like, if that makes sense. I feel something, but then I see the mirror and it doesn't really match up to what I believe the feeling means in terms of image, all the craziness that goes on in my head, but yesterday I started to feel uncomfortable, started to feel a bit bloated, a bit big, whatever. Noticed I wasn't feeling as taut, but more relaxed, as nice of a term as that is, more relaxed, and that was uncomfortable. And this morning, again, uncomfortable. And it's not terribly uncomfortable or excessively. It's more noticing the difference between feeling confident and uncomfortable and not comfortable. And it's more that presence of the not comfortableness that's really playing with my head. And it's funny because I know how it works. As soon as that happens, I get it's almost like there's a microscope or a highlight, like a spotlight on certain areas of my body, and it just monitors it constantly, regardless of whether I'm driving or at work or whatever. It's a constant awareness, a vigilant awareness of how my body feels and what I believe that it means in terms of image and the associations that I tack onto that as a result. And it's just one of those days. It's one of those days where I feel fat and unattractive. I don't like what I see. I don't like the way I feel, and that will bug me all day. And the first instance is to go for a skate. And the thing is, I want to go for a skate because I want to just go for a skate because it's something I want to start doing, or I'm going out and getting out of the house and going for a skate because it's healthy and it's good for me, and I need to actually get out and do a bit of exercise because I notice how stiff and sore my body is, and how lethargic or stuff I start to feel. So getting out and doing some physical form of activity is good for, you know, heart and blood flow and all that kind of jazz as well. So it's good for me, but it's that it becomes a compulsion, becomes obsessive, because it becomes a way to counter how I'm feeling. It becomes a way to try and control my weight. It becomes something that I use. It's like just any other tool that a tradesman would use to sculpt or build something he's trying to create. You know, this masterpiece that he's trying to construct. I want to say erect. Erect. But yeah, it's, and again, this is the biggest hurdle for me. It's really trying to figure out what my motivation is, and maybe that'll always be my motivation. Maybe that'll always be my motivation. Maybe, or that'll always creep in. That'll always be there. And I've been told that it's wrong for so long, and that I don't want that to be a motivation, or I don't want these thoughts to be there. But you know, maybe I'll be stuck with this kind of stuff for a long time. Maybe coming to grips with, I can go and do that stuff, but as soon as it becomes a big deal, or I can't not do it, then I've got to look at myself. But at the moment, and I could feel that coming in, like I could feel the compulsion come in. Even after one day, I felt the compulsion come in, and it was so seductive. And I think I talked about this before, that it was so seductive, it was so quick, just jumped in and grabbed me by the throat, and whispering all its promises and shit in my ear. And even now it's doing it. I'm scanning my body and I'm feeling how uncomfortable I feel in my legs and my bum and in my stomach and in my chest area, and I'm getting an image in my mind of what that looks like, and then what associations are attached to that, and what other people are looking at, what other people are thinking, and because I think that, other people are thinking that, and so it kind of just feeds back onto me, and it just reaffirms what I believe. And I don't know, it's, you know, it's not easy, I guess. Never was meant to be. But, you know, you still stick it out, you still push through, you still keep doing what you're doing, because what else is there? There's the skinny little junkie dude that said, "Hi guys," on day one. There's loss and pain and agony and suffering and more loss and grief, and things die. And you've got nothing to show for it except skeletal form, no form of concentration, and a lack of any source of happiness in your life whatsoever, regardless of if you're surrounded by loved ones or not. You don't feel anything. I didn't feel anything. And it's a bit sad that sometimes even that isn't a motivator. That how I feel is the greatest motivator, and the avoidance of how I feel is the greatest motivator. The fear of what that means is a greater motivator than the reality of my life 4 months ago. Everything that happened to me, the 10 years I've lost because of this, 10 years of my life gone. And things happened in those 10 years, but I wasn't around to really enjoy them. I couldn't suck the marrow out of those things because I was never really present, I was never really there, I was never really engaged. I was only at half power, so to speak. I was just floating through it the whole time. And now I don't do that as much. You know, I really am trying to be more present, be more engaged with what I'm doing, but at the same time, shit like this pops up. And the first thing I think is, go to the gym, make yourself feel better. And yeah, it probably would. And it would be really good for me. It would be really healthy, and I go to the gym, I get a personal trainer, and I could do all that, and I could sort of sculpt a body that I'm a little bit more comfortable in, and that would be great. And it would be great if I wasn't a fucking obsessive compulsive person. It would be great if that wasn't my trigger that fucks me up and leads me back down this really nasty trail. That would all be fantastic, and I really, really want to do that because I really like to feel nice about myself. And, you know, the whole acceptance of this is how I am, this is how my body's put together is something that I'm getting more and more adept at, but in the same breath, there's still that desire to want to look like the Adonis, to look like, you know, everything that society tells me that I'm supposed to look like. I'm supposed to be thin, happy, and successful. And least one of those. I don't know, I think I'm just babbling now. I don't really know what I'm talking about. Again, I really should make notes before I make these, but I kind of do them on the spur of the moment. But I'm probably boring you guys now, so I'll shut up. So there you go, weight's gone up a little bit, which is really good. Still navigating the whole exercise thing, still navigating the whole body image thing, and still navigating those days where I just feel like shit. And knowing that to do anything to counter how I feel would probably be a bad idea. So I kind of have to suck it up, take a teaspoon of cement, harden the fuck up, and just push through. Because that's all I can do. Just push through, push through, push through. And you just hope that somewhere down the line that shifts again and things aren't so bad. Or it shifts again and you feel a little bit better. Or it shifts again and you start to see what everyone else sees and the associations that everyone else sees, and not the negative shit that plagues your mind. My mind. You know, I've lost so much, and I tend to concentrate on that because that's my reality. And the gaining of so much as well, in terms of weight, obviously, of love handles and, you know, bigger thighs and tighter fitting clothing, but a happier demeanour, you know, more concentration. I sleep better, you know. It's hard not to dwell on some of those losses, especially when they're as big as they are. And the gains sometimes don't feel much, only because you're just not as connected to people as you'd like to be. And that's my fault, and that's other people's fault. We're all busy people. I don't know, maybe the honeymoon period's over and I'm starting to settle into the reality of the union that I've entered into in terms of my body and acceptance of it. Anyway, I'll say bye now because this is getting really long and I'm just rambling. So, alright guys, have a fantastic Easter. This will be the first Easter in which I actually overindulge in Easter eggs again. I may even eat some on camera just because it would be funny to do so, and it's probably good to document that because it is a pretty big deal, and I know it's a big deal for Mum. I know it's a really big deal for Mum. So, yeah. First Easter indulging with chocolate as everyone else does, those who can imbibe chocolate. So yeah, happy Easter everybody. Hope you all stay safe and enjoy the time that you have with the people that you love. And I hope to see some of you over this long weekend, or I just hope to see some of you in the coming weeks. I miss you guys. And you guys know who you are. And those who don't, well, you're stupid because I miss you anyway. I love you guys. I'll speak to you soon.